I remember waking up in the recovery room with two nurses hovering around me, talking to me, trying to get me to wake up. As I opened my eyes, I could see them looking at me, and one of the nurses gently nudging me on the shoulder. She then looked at my throat bandage and said to the other nurse, "Get the doctor, she's bleeding." At this point, I felt very disconnected from my body and could hear a loud rushing sound filling my head. I turned my head to the left, toward the doorway of the room, and saw a very bright light growing in the entrance of the door. It was brighter than the sun and continued to grow in intensity. Then I heard someone yell, "She's crashing!" And I was aware of at least 4 nurses and doctors surrounding me. I turned my head again to the left, and now the light totally engulfed the doorway of the room. I saw a figure standing in the light, a being tall and serene, Christ-like in stature and form, and a profound feeling of peace and joy filled me. With that, I felt myself lifting from my physical body and started to move toward the light and light being waiting for me. However, I could only get about 2 to 3 feet from my body and felt like someone was holding me by my left arm. I turned and looked down, and I could see the doctors working on me, pushing down on my chest, and my mom sitting beside me holding on to my left arm with both hands, pleading with me not to go. I was torn whether to continue into the light or return to my body. The next thing I knew, I woke up in my hospital room, with my parents sitting beside me. I felt like something significant had happened and was surprised to find myself still in my physical body. I had difficulty talking to them about it since I was in and out of consciousness due to pain medication. 2 days later, when the effects of the anesthetic had worn off, I had memory flashbacks of the event in the recovery room and felt confused and saddened that I had not been able to go into the light. My mom told me afterwards that she had not been in the recovery room with me. She had been sitting out in the hallway by the recovery room. When she saw my surgeon and doctor rush past her into the recovery room, she sensed I was in trouble and projected herself to my side to assist me. She denied the fact that I had died, but said I was very sick and they almost lost me. The day after surgery, while in my room, the woman next to me went into cardiac arrest and died. It was the first time in my life I had ever been present when someone died, and I saw the woman's spirit form leave her body. This disturbed me greatly since I realized I had also been in that form and not been able to go home. My doctor came to speak to me since I had shared with my nurse the disturbing memory flashbacks I was experiencing and having trouble sleeping after witnessing my hospital roommate die. He told me it wasn't unusual for people in the state I was in to have such experiences, and yes, my heart had stopped for a few minutes and that they were very lucky to have saved me. As far as what I saw in the room when the woman next to me died, he told me they should have moved me out of the room and apologized for subjecting me to this. However, I explained to him that it was okay, and I knew the woman had gone on and was home. He just smiled, patted the top of my head and said it was probably just my imagination, and ordered the nurse to give me something to help me sleep. I decided at that point to not share my experience with anyone, since no one seemed to believe me. But I know that what I saw, felt, and experienced was the truth. What we experience as physical reality is a vastly small portion of who and what we truly are, and that there is life after death.